It was on a Sunday afternoon after church. George and I were figuring out what we would do the rest of the afternoon. So I came up with a thought. I get them once in a while, only once in a while. They're usually not real good, but I thought this was a good one. I said, how about we take a ride through the community and look at different houses and stuff, just look. And had not really done that before. I thought it'd be interesting. She said, sure. So on what was a gorgeous day, blue skies, sun, nice weather out, we get in my car, which was at that time a Saturn coupe, kind of looked like a sports car. It wasn't really just what it was, it was a 3-door, real low to the ground. So we leave my house, which is on it's in a real rural area, and we go just about, I'd say 20, 30 yards up my street, and I turned off, I say street, it was a dirt road, but I turned off this onto another road, and Georgia said, well, where are we going? I said, well, this is my next door neighbor's house I want you to see. She said, okay. So it was a long, winding, maybe a half a mile to this house. You didn't even know it was there. It's through woods and stuff. And well, anyway, we get there, and I stopped right in front of the house. I said, isn't that a pretty house? She said, yes, it is. At this point, if I would have turned around and we would have gone back out into the street, everything would have been just fine. But that was not going to be good enough for me. So what I did was I said, look, let's go a little further down into this road, bushes or whatever, and let's see what else is back here. So she went along with me, thinking I knew what I was doing. Well, I went through some bushes, and I come out into a clearing on this person's property, and I'm thinking, something's not right here. The first thing I noticed was a large tree in this clearing, and on the top of this tree seemed to be a stand, maybe a deer stand or something, which would not be a tall order. I mean, a lot of deer out that way. And then I'm thinking, well, I'm thinking to myself, we're actually trespassing, so I should probably get out of here. So, like any normal American New Yorker would do, I put the car in reverse, and I made a little turn. Well, when I made the turn to leave, I realized that my wheels weren't going anywhere. And I thought to myself, how come my wheels not going anywhere? It's very dry out. It had not been raining. And I thought, what's wrong? So I get out of the car, and I say, Georgia, what did we just get into? She said, this is a turnip patch. I went, a turnip patch? What is that? She said, well, a turnip patch, they flood, they grow turnips. And anyway, we're sunk down into it. I went, oh, man. I said, what are we going to do? I'm thinking to myself. So I put boards under there. I was getting anything trying to get traction. But, I mean, really, the belly of the underneath of our car was laying flat on the ground, and the wheels had disappeared into this mud thing. I went, how in the world am I going to get this out of here? So I thought, I know what I'll do. I'm a pretty smart guy. I'll get my jack. So I go open up the trunk. I pull out the jack and the handle. And as I come back around to the front, I see a truck pull up. Maybe pulls up 30, 40 yards from us it looked like a pickup truck. That was the first thing I didn't like. The second thing I didn't like was it had a gun rack right behind this man's head who was driving this truck. And the third thing I didn't like was the fact that on this gun rack was a gun. And here I am trespassing on what I figure is this man's property. So, and I'm holding a jack and a wrench, and I'm thinking to myself, I said, I hope this guy, I hope he has good sight and doesn't look to him like I'm holding a rifle or something like that, and decides to get out and shoot me. So he did get out. When he got out, I started talking very, very quick. I mean, quick, fast, quick. You know, I mean, the normal human can hear it about around 220 words a minute, and I was speaking around 600 words a minute. I was speaking so fast I knew it could. But what I was telling him was how pretty his house was and his yard and all this stuff. And I just happened to be taking my girlfriend out looking at this, and we're just so impressed with his house and everything. And so the next thing he does was he gets on, I see him get on the cell phone and he's calling somebody. I did not know if he was calling the Southern Mafia, the Sheriff's Department, or who he was calling. But about a minute later, I see a golf cart pull up with two people in it. Later to find out it was his two sons. And they was so nice, so nice. They went and they hooked my car up to the back of his pickup truck, and he drove. Me and his two sons pushed the car as he was pulling it to get it out of this turnip patch. And it finally did get out of turnip patch onto dry ground. And I told him, I said, sir, I cannot thank you enough. We exchanged names. His name was Ronnie. My name's Paul. I hope to see you again, not under these circumstances. But I was so happy to get out of there with my life. I realized he could have killed me, and he would have had perfect reason since I was on his property. Well, I'm very grateful. However, this would not be the last time that Ronnie would be involved in a conversation of mine, as you will see at a later time. Until then, have a good night. Signing off. Bye.